Welcome back to This Wasn't in the MLS. I'm Megan.
And I'm Sean.
And we finally have Sean back.
Yeah.
We did a couple, right, without you.
Yeah, you did. You had...
Carrie and Josh.
Yeah. And I think we missed a week.
Sean was probably super happy about that. So, this one will be super interesting because I went on Facebook and I did a calling all real estate agents post and said, give me your, funniest, craziest real estate story.
Oh, yeah.
And we got 11 submissions. Thank you to my RE/MAX friends. I was worried.
And we didn't pre-read these or anything, so we don't even know what they say.
Yeah, so I didn't read any of them. It was really hard not to, but I swear I did not. So, I guess, Sean, you can kick us off and just read the top question first and then say their name, brokerage name, and their market location. And then tell the story.
So, what's a funny moment or crazy moment that happened either at a showing, listing, or anything real estate related? This one's from Peyton Hubble from RE/MAX Cavaliers in Abington, Virginia, and Bristol, Tennessee. So their story is, I had a seller's cat trap me in a bathroom one time. Everything was fine until I went into the master bedroom. Then this kitty was not having it. I had walked into the corner and the cat into the doorway where it began hissing and screaming at me. When I tried to step over it or around it, it would claw my pant leg and shoes and get very aggressive. I ended up having to take a running go and jump it like a hurdle to get out. Meanwhile, my client had already grabbed her child and ran out of the house, completely abandoned me.
Oh my God.
No blame there. If my kid was with me, I would have done the same thing. After jumping the cat and running to the door, I accidentally dropped my keys, and unfortunately, the cat had chased me all the way to the front. Me and my client then had to find a stick and try to fish my keys away from the cat just so I could get back into my car and leave. This happened as my very last showing of the year. Afterward, we went to a New Year's Eve party and had drinks and talked about it. We decided that house was not right even without us getting to see the whole thing. Luckily, it just was not enough space for them, so no big deal. I have heard of guard dogs, but this was my very first experience with a guard cat.
Oh my God. I can imagine her too. I know her, but
yeah.
That's quite the story, Peyton. Don't forget the front and back. And that I always get nervous when, like on showing time, it says dog on premises because I'm like, is the dog out?
Yeah.
Am I going to have to fight for my life here? But I have never really had any bad pet experiences or anything. But that should really teach people, like, if you have an aggressive cat, to probably put your cat away.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I've never had that. So
I have one from Anonymous, and I know who you are because you told me you were going to put it in Anonymous. Her brokerage is RE/MAX, New York State, and market location is New York State. Okay, so her funniest real estate story. I was showing a young guy a condo, and I thought we walked into a home gym. I announced what a great use for the second bathroom. I announced what a great use for the second bedroom, a home gym. He gave me a puzzling look, and I took a better look and was so embarrassed. Oh, it ended up being a sex swing and a stripper pole. Is that the rest? Oh my God. That's so awkward.
Yeah, it is.
I get why you're anonymous now.
So this one is from John Ryan, RE/MAX Real Estate Results, Bentonville, Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Arkansas.
Arkansas. That's not how you say it.
I say it that way because
Oh,
that's how
I thought
it's
you were
spelled.
serious. I was very concerned.
I just like saying it that way. So he said, show up for a showing at an occupied property. No answer when I knocked. We enter and begin walking around for the showing, and just as we round the corner of the hallway, the bathroom door flies open where the man comes out completely naked, as had just got out of the shower. Needless to say, we got to see way more than we were planning to that day.
Oh,
That's pretty embarrassing.
was he? Do you think he must have been embarrassed, the guy. Note to self, don't walk around naked when your house is for sale.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. All right, this one's from Claudia Kovaleski, and she's actually with Remax Best. She's in our office in the Poconos. One time I was showing a house that was owner occupied, was told the seller would let us in at our scheduled appointment time. We get to the house and there are no cars in the driveway and the door is unlocked, so I knock on the door and walk in yelling, hello, hello, to announce our presence and make sure we are okay to enter. No one responds, so we begin our tour, assuming the owners just left for the showing. We walk through the first floor of the home with no problem. Then we head up to the second floor. We notice a large, oversized animal cage in the loft area, but there is nothing inside. We have one last door to open, and it's the primary bedroom. I open the door and scream. The homeowner is asleep in bed with her giant parrot. Oh my God, I actually think you told me this story. The parrot is perched on the edge of her bed, staring at me as I quickly slam the door. The client with me really likes the home and is dying to see the primary suite. So he decided to loudly knock on the door, and the homeowner abruptly wakes up and profusely apologizes, saying she just had surgery and was asleep on pain meds. Needless to say, expect the unexpected.
Betrayed you.
That's terrible. Why?
I don't understand that one.
Okay.
So the next one is from Mary Champagne. Remax Results, Greenville, South Carolina. I don't know how I can tell the story without actually being the one to tell the story because it's crazy. But I had a previous seller who had been kicked out of his house and court ordered not to be back in the house. The wife moved away. Well, he decided to stay in the crawl space. Well, actually, he started in the attic first because the attic access was in the garage and he broke into the garage. He would sleep up there when it was like 1,000 degrees outside. When we stopped his access to the garage, he would take back slider door off. He would take the back slider door off. He said he built it and knew how to get in the house where others didn't. Agents would show up with their clients to show the home, and he would be in the closet sleeping and never once just coming out of the shower. And even once coming out of the shower. At first, we couldn't figure out how he was getting in the house because I would change the lockbox, and then we realized his real estate agent mom would give him the code. And then when I made it so they had to call me to get the code is when he started taking the slider door off. It was really crazy, but he ultimately ended up in the crawl space living and working on his neighbor's house, so he was always there. We had to get the law involved. We did end up closing it, but I didn't even know if he was going to show up at the closing. Of course, the reason for his bizarre behavior was drug related, so it's actually quite sad.
Oh my gosh. That is interesting. You know, I thought of my own story yesterday, and now I'm trying to remember what it is.
Should make sure you write it down next time.
I know. Well, now I don't know.
Maybe
And
it'll
I
come
wish
back
I
to you.
could remember. It's okay. All right, so this one's from my bestie, Samantha Welch. She's with Remax Center Realty in State College, Pennsylvania. Here is Samantha's story. I live and work in a college town, which means I show a lot of tenant-occupied properties. It's not uncommon for college students to be in the property. I've had numerous times where college students are sleeping while we arrive for a showing. The most interesting one was a college student was showering while we were showering while we were touring a property. I opened the door, heard the fan on, but not water running. College student showering. My clients and I just left. They did end up buying the property too. I also went to a listing appointment one time and another agent showed up at the same time. Seller took us both through the house at the same time, but I couldn't do my normal presentation. Seller ended up selling for sale by owner. So he was just in a shower hiding.
I guess so.
He must have heard them.
Yeah.
And was like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm
turn
not
the
moving.
water. I'm just gonna stay still.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So this one's from Moriyama Mo Kelly. Remax Properties of the Summit. Breckenridge, Colorado, Ski Country, USA. It's a long one. So I had one of the funniest showing experiences in Dillon, Colorado. I was showing a beautiful property with amazing lake views to a couple. The listing agent had approved the showing, but you know how it goes sometimes. Tenants aren't always thrilled the home is being sold. I always make myself very known when entering properties, especially in Summit County, where so many homes are short-term rentals. I knocked loudly, announced a realtor several times, and walked in with my buyers.
Like, please.
The second we stepped inside, we heard very loud noises coming from upstairs that sounded exactly like a very passionate, romantic encounter.
Oh, boy.
I shouted again, but the noises just kept going. They kept getting louder. My buyers immediately turned around and practically sprinted out of the house. I followed them, locked the door behind us, and while we were all standing outside, completely mortified, I looked down and realized I left my shoes inside the house. I had to go back in to retrieve my snow boots. It was snowing outside. Turns out, it wasn't the owners at all. It was their adult kids home alone having a little too much fun making prank noises and scaring the life out of us.
Oh my gosh.
I think these adult children not want mom and dad to sell the ski condo with lake views. Needless to say, it was one of the most unforgettable showings I've ever had.
Oh my god. This one's from Donald Porter. I love Donald. He's with Remax Escarpment in Hamilton. So Donald's actually in Canada. He's a Canadian agent. And he says, house. Sorry, Donald. Or home. You just noticed that about Canadians. But anyway, met with the seller and told them we should put it on the market and they can sell for a fair amount of money because it's the pandemic. He decided, let's not put it on the market. Okay. Let's rent it out completely brand new on the inside, brand new appliances, fully renovated, looking beautiful. He rents it out to who he says works for the pharmacy. Turns out she's a drug dealer. She also has a ton of dogs and started cooking crystal meth in the house when it came down to sell it. We got low offers because no one was allowed in. She blocked everyone. One of them came in with a condition of a home inspection. That home inspection had to be police escorted and caused so many issues in the end. The tenant refused to leave any time someone came near them at the house. She would chuck eggs and water at them at this time. It was cold outside, and so she would go to the second floor and dump water on anyone trying to enter through the front door. Eventually, he sold for less than half of what he sold for originally. Oh my God. These people are crazy.
This is Adrian.
Adrian Graymore.
Adrian Graymore. Remax Properties, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Northwest Georgia. I had a buyer who was actually from Pennsylvania. Maybe y'all all do this. I had to chauffeur this lady around, and at this point we had already looked at 50 plus houses, and she was on my nerves. She was looking in Northwest Georgia. Her budget was $200K cash, and this was 5 years ago, and at that time, that was a decent budget. We drove up this steep-ass hill. It was it was a vacant cabin-style house, wooden everything. I was downstairs in the kitchen, and she made her way upstairs. All of a sudden, I heard a loud scooting noise.
Scooting?
I thought she moved a table or something across the wooden floor, but instead it was the loudest fart I've ever heard in my life. She said, "Don't come up here. It smells."
Oh my God. All right. This one is from my buddy Chris Royer with Remax Professionals. He's in Denver, Colorado. Oh, it's a long one. Thank you, Chris. Currently working with a tricky seller. Not the most pleasant human I've met in my life. Started our conversation with her calling me arrogant because she texted me and told me she wanted to be in the home at all the showings. Oh, I feel like you told me about this. I didn't know her well at the time, so I sent a laugh emoji. She didn't like that. Finally, reluctantly agreed it was a terrible idea for her to be at the showings. Of course, she wants top dollar for her home. I did a 3-hour walkthrough and told her exactly what to do in every room to get her sales price. Easy stuff like cleaning. Ha. Show up with my video/photo guy. She did about 5% of the suggestions I made, but of course she still wants top dollar. She then tells me we can only do showings from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This later changes to 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Our very first showing, she locked the deadbolt before she vacated, which she refused to give me a key for her safety. So those buyers decided to skip the showing. The next buyer showed up on the wrong day and she was home. Of course, this had to happen with this seller. She texted me as if the world was ending and that a black person and a Latina were trying to show her home. Neither of them looked like an agent. Not sure why their skin color was relevant. We got a showing request this week for 1:30. I thought, great, that's in her time window. She denied it. I asked her why. She said that's when she showers, so she can go pick up her kids from school at 4. Okay. Been a fun one. Oh, and now they want to take the home off the market because having 1 to 2 showings a week is just too stressful. Too much work to do with a $200,000 check at the end of the race. And the house will go into foreclosure soon because they decided to stop paying the mortgage. Smiley face. Oh, Chris. We love you. Poor Chris. This one's from Don Patton with Remax Associates in Ogden, Utah. I was showing several homes to out-of-state buyers in an outlying community. As we pulled up to one of the homes on the list, I thought it was odd that it didn't have a for sale sign and he went into the wrong house. For sale sign, and strange that there was no lockbox, but the door was unlocked, which is the case sometimes. As we went through the house, I kept commenting on how the listing agent didn't have any of the details correct on the MLS, as nothing was matching. I was also thinking the sellers didn't prepare the home very well for our showing. Long story short, I was in the wrong house. After I realized my mistake, we quickly left and I found the right house and eventually sold the clients the home. Oh my God.
I almost did that once.
Walked into the wrong house?
Yeah, I like the front of because it was in Eagle Lake, and the front of the camper was exactly the same. It had the same name on the front of the camper, same deck on the left side of the house. It looked exactly the same, and there was no numbers on it.
Yeah, I don't know if he told me that story before, but I feel like I've heard of people doing that before. I have my bee story, but I think I already told my bee story on the podcast that I thought a swarm of bees was... Oh, no, I don't think I didn't tell this story on the podcast. We just did like a little video.
Yeah, I think when we filmed with Josh.
So I was showing a property and we went out the back door to look at the deck, and on the stairs, like going to the backyard, it was like a riverfront property, and they were like, oh, there's like a swarm of bees right there. And it was the the nest must have been like under the stairs. So like they were swarming because somebody walked.
Yeah.
And I was like, those aren't bees, they're flies. So I went right through it. I just walked right through it. So like my ankles walked right through it. And I kept walking and I was getting stung on my ankles and it really hurt. So I booked it. I just ran.
Yeah.
And I'm terrified of bees. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the shower thing, like I've walked into houses where somebody was taking a shower. That was just like, but like I never saw anybody naked.
Yeah.
The other crazy one was that the morning that I had pictures scheduled for that listing, and the guy was dead in his house.
Yeah.
That one was probably my craziest story. I was like,
at least you weren't showing it at the time and walked into that.
I know, that would have been terrible. But other than that, I definitely thought of one yesterday, and it's not coming to my mind anymore. But as soon as we stop the podcast, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah. But we show a lot of, like, vacation properties, so most of them are vacant anyway.
Yeah.
Now I could tell some wild listing stories, but we won't do that. And for the record, stop bringing your dogs to showings. Like, why? I understand it's a service dog. I can get that. Like, you need your service dog, but like, stop bringing your pet to other people's houses. Like, you don't know if the seller's allergic. You don't know if there's another dog behind the door. Like, why are you doing that? It's making our life like so awkward too. Like, hey, you can't bring your dog inside.
Yeah, just leave the dog in the car.
Yeah. But that's our short little podcast today. Actually, 23 minutes. We did pretty good.
Yeah.
We hope you liked our crazy stories, although some were highly inappropriate. Thanks for watching. This wasn't in the MLS, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.